Thank you for the interaction. Hi. I'm going to be super real here. I've got a few notes, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of really. Speaking is not my natural flow state. Had I been asked to hop up here and perform, dance, climb something, no problem. This one's a little bit of a new one for me, but I'm embracing it. I keep getting this calling, so here I am. First up, I would like to acknowledge the Balinese people, the Indonesians, the holders of this land, for reminding us of ceremony of gratitude of the present moment, and for being peaceful, grateful, patient, and accepting all of us, all of the others to the land. It's so nice to feel welcome. And really, it's an example of the culture that the Western world is striving for. That's why we're here. And also thank you to the Conscious Universe, Conscious Society, for bringing together everyone. Thank you so much. I know firsthand how hard it is to put on events like this and bring people internationally together, all the moving parts. So all of your efforts are recognized and honored, and like so much gratitude for your contribution towards a new paradigm, a sustainable future. So I invite you all to close your eyes. We're just going to dive in for a moment. Sitting up nice and tall, grounding down through your sits bones. You melt those shoulders down away from your ears. Just imagine there is a golden string pulling up from the crown of your head, creating space between each vertebrae. Your spine grows taller. I want you to start to take a deep inhalation, starting from the root of your spine, letting the energy circle between each vertebrae, making its way up to the crown of your head. Once we get there, just taking an extra little sip in, pause, and let's exhale with a sigh. And once again, taking a nice slow inhalation, starting from the root of the spine, drawing the energy up, letting it circle around the space between each vertebrae, letting it come all the way to the crown of your head, letting it circle, pause. Once again, exhale with a sigh. Now I want you to bring your focus to the space between your eyebrows, into the third eye. And when we talk about sustainable future, I just want you to take a moment to visualize what it is that you see. Who are you? What's around you? How's Pasha Mama doing? Who are you with? How is your relationship with yourself, with the other? What do you see? What do you smell? What do you feel? We all have this power to vision and to dream. We all have this power to manifest. But we also have this power to actualize what we're seeing in our heads so we can share it with everyone else around us and the rest of the world. And I believe this is how we shift into the new paradigm. We are doing the work ourselves, but it's also up to us to actualize it out into the reality, into our immediate environment, and out beyond that. So I want to share with you what I see. I see embodied spirits living the full human experience in its full potential, learning and exploring through play, a place where gravity is optional, love is unconditional, lines on maps and numbers on paper bills no longer exist, where we are limitless, we are empowered, We are compassionate, understanding, accepting, and every moment is a gift, a chance for celebration. Those around us are allies. They're our mirrors. And they're here with one goal, to bring us closer to unity. So for me, this picture that I'm painting, that's my dream, that's my vision. And for me, this is living inside a circus. This is where everyone is each in their unique authenticity, coexisting, living in community, uplifting, and inspiring each other through individuality to come together as community, where each person is a mirror to show us the sides of ourselves that we need to see so we can release all blocks and experience oneness. So you can come back to me if you've still got your eyes closed, or you can keep them closed, either way. So I'm proud to say that this is how I'm living my year, most of my year. This is the community that I have surrounded around me in my immediate environment for probably 3/4 of the year. I'm starting to see it spread outward as well in communities like this one in Ubud, and other places that I base myself in the world, like Guatemala, Nicaragua, Central America. So who am I? My name is Therese. I'm an Australian designer, come yogi, come circus artist, come entrepreneur. I am a multi-dimensional human being. I'm one of the fortunate ones who's been able to shed a lot of the conditions, a lot of the things that I was born into, to be able to step in and out of different realities. I'm also co-founder of Momentom Collective, which is a new paradigm movement, redefining what is possible for how we exist in this world. So in essence, I'm living that dream of living nomadically in authentic expression of my passions and my visions, and I'm super grateful that I'm able to do this. And what am I doing here? I'm still trying to figure that one out. Ever since I arrived in Bali a few months ago, I've been asked to speak at different events. Not such a big deal. I've been performing and hosting workshops at different festivals and events worldwide with my group Momentum, but recently I've been feeling more of a call to deliver a message from higher consciousness, to transmute this energy that I'm harnessing through my project to deliver something greater, to share the lessons that I've learned. So essentially, I'm here today to tell you how it came about to start a circus, or a new age circus, in a developing country with zero experience in the field. So thank you for all being part of this calling for me to share and stand up in front of you. So the past few years, I've been receiving some intense downloads, messages from higher consciousness. I had a series of events, and which included a near-death experience. It allowed me to shed most of the things that I was carrying and step into my high purpose. So this whole process ended with me just quitting my job, moving out of my apartment, and moving to a volcano to live in a community completely off-grid in Lake Nicaragua. So I went there to meditate and to do predominantly hippie things. And what resulted from this, aside from a bunch of my friends thinking I was totally crazy, was that I started a hub for circus artists and for movement artists. How I did this was, once I moved off the volcano, once I'd done receiving and giving and doing what I had to do, I rented a house on the beach, on a deserted beach in Nicaragua. And I kept doing those things. I kept meditating, I kept training, I kept doing the things that I loved. And what I found is that the most incredible, inspirational, loving, open, radically exceptional artists started to flow into my life. Just the simple act of being in my true, authentic expression, keeping my channel clear, not holding on to the stuff that doesn't serve me, I was attracting into my life all of the things that I needed to create this dream. Anything that I could vision would automatically pop up in front of me. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm a manifestor, I can do this. This thing that they talk about. So once these people, arrived on my doorstep, and I've had some wild people staying in my house, from the streets of El Salvador to, that's a whole nother story. So what we did was we created a structure where we could co-live, co-work, co-train, co-create together. And this was the starting of what is now known as the Momentom Artist Residency, or the start of an epic community. So today we have a network of hundreds of artists across the globe, and we run residencies in 4 locations. Each have their unique offering, and we have created an ecosystem of opportunities for these people, from jobs to performances, teaching gigs, just retreats for people to switch off from the world and bridge into this world that we're experiencing here and now, and to do it in a safe way. Co-creation spaces, networking events, all of the things. And what I'm asked time and time again is, how do we do it? Full event after full event, 3/4 of a year. A community who are engaged, I'm not even going to Burning Man. None of my founders of this project are going to Burning Man, and we have a group who are there connecting. I get photos all the time from people in my community that I'm like, hang on, you guys weren't even in the same residency, you don't know each other, but you're meeting up because you have this connection from this project. It's super beautiful. And I would say that 80 to 90% of people who come through our door come from a referral or returning to us. And sometimes people, it's a big deal to drop everything you're doing. Usually people are staying for a minimum of 1 month with us. Sometimes they're following us from Indonesia to Guatemala to Nicaragua. It's a big deal. And my answer to this is a couple of things. One of them I'll get onto, which is the lessons that I've learned from my circus family. So I think that these people are the most embodied human beings and can tell us a lot about actualizing dreams. But the other thing is a balance of yin and yang energies. So this idea of structure, but not too much structure. I see a lot as we move into new paradigm, new technologies, new ways to do things, new models, new systems. But we don't want to control everything, because what we know is if we plan everything, there's no room for magic. So we need to create just enough structure so that we can let the subtle energies flow. Create the masculine structure so the feminine can still exist. And it's not about creating one polarization or the other, it's about living in unity and coming to an equilibrium. So if we create too much structure, we know there's no magic, but if we manifest everything, if we're too much into the feminine, we also know that nobody turns up on time for training. And your real-world integration goes completely out the window. So it's servicing us, and that's super nice, and we can flow, and this feels so good, and connecting, and amazing. But how am I actualizing this into something bigger so my family back home can experience it? People who are not resourced, who haven't been able to shed all the stuff yet, are also able to experience this. They're stuck in that system that is no longer serving humanity. So I believe that, as I said, the best out-of-society community that I've come across in my 32 years of living on this earth is the circus community. They really know how to actualize dreams. Okay, why? Because training this way forces you to show up. It forces you to test new ideas, to fail, to get up again, to show up for others, to give, to receive, to listen. Importantly, to learn how to play again and to fall again, but to always laugh in the end. Some of the ways that we are able to actualize in circus are really, really important principles of being human beings. So this is trust, vulnerability, failure, support, communication, self-expression, through all of the senses, through music, through the body, through all of things. Co-accountability, so showing up for each other, holding each other accountable. It's not just a solo journey. All of these mirrors are here to show us parts of ourselves that we release blocks so we can come into unity. So abolishment of limiting beliefs is a huge one. It's a huge one. If you think about flying trapeze artists, how much fear do you have How much fear do you have doing that? What does it take to actualize? Okay, I see this thing. How am I going to do that? I'm scared. I have to work with somebody else. I can never do that. So we abolish those limiting beliefs through goal setting, through discipline, through routine, through ritual, through this co-accountability. And I believe that this is the way that we can really start to actualize all of our dreams, whether it be circus related or not, into reality. So, to wrap it up, I just want to make a point that as we transition into the new paradigm, I want us all to remember that we've come here to have a human experience. This is an embodied experience to enjoy the senses. We're not robots. This is the best thing that I've learned to date. And as we model new societies, we should model them on embodiment, empowerment, vulnerability, space for failure, for play, for sharing, and to be in full expression of the human experience. Thank you.